Hello music lovers, thanks for visiting my channel. My name is Caesar Pink.
Let your mama down. Let your mama down. Let your mama down. Baby, please.
And our guest is musician, multimedia artist, filmmaker John Mertz. And before we get started, all the proceeds from this channel are donated to the Arete Living Arts Foundation. The mission of Arete Living Arts is to create and promote artists whose work inspires personal, political, or spiritual awakening. So please like and subscribe. That really helps us grow the channel. If you want to do more, you can join our Patreon page or make a tax-deductible donation via PayPal. All the links are in the description below. The song I'm going to play for John is Tarred and Feathered by the Cardiacs. It's a group I just discovered. I think they came out in like 79, kind of, in the British punk. And apparently they were kind of like the press really hated them because their stage performance was so weird. But they managed to get like one hit and become popular for a while. And, they have like, their fans are like, oh, this is the classic lineup, but then there's a lineup after. And they're called the Cardiacs. So one night the singer goes to a concert, has a heart attack. And that like debilitates him, and then, a couple years later he dies. But this is like, I just discovered this and it just kind of blew my mind. I always like a little humor in music, but I also like, sometimes humor, number one, can make the sharpest point with satire, but also you can kind of turn it on the edge. Like sometimes I'll have a song that's humor-based, then in the bridge I'll turn it around so you see underneath and you see that there's something like extremely sad underneath this, like the other side of it. So let's look at some of this song.
Where are these guys from?
England. I don't know before beyond that. Actually, I did read about the town, but I forget.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
For the first time. Now, things I like, besides the humor, things I like, that's, very creative structurally, it's unpredictable, and the music is like, there's a lot going on musically there, but still it's fairly catchy, you know what I mean? There was hooks in there that I woke up with this song in my head this morning, and it was a little rough, you know what I mean, to have that in your head. But I find it very interesting stuff.
Well, picking up what we were talking about earlier and then flipping it over, is that this is a band that seems to owe nothing to the blues.
Yeah.
This is, there are a lot of bands in England like that, that the English music hall music is sort of the thing at the bottom of
Yeah.
of their minds when they were growing up and stuff.
Including some Beatles stuff.
Yeah, exactly. The Beatles weren't really a very good blues band. But these guys, there's a lot about it that reminds me of Devo.
Mm-hmm.
Just the humor of it. Now, obviously, none of them have rock star good looks, so they're making the most of what they got, and that's going to make their stuff humorous.
Well, one thing, the singer, guitar player, and the bass player are brothers.
Oh, okay. Well, I like to know things like that.
And part of their live shtick was that the bass player would beat up on the other band members. And I don't know if you saw, like, early on, there's a little break and the bass player kicks the drummer in the back. And apparently that's one of the things that press hated, but kind of odd. But let's listen a little more. I mean, one of the things that some of their songs, it's almost like a prog rock song squeezed into 3 or 4 minutes. It's
Certainly Zappa.
Yeah, I didn't think of that,
A lot
but
of
yeah.
Zappa. And I was just thinking the other day, apropos of Frank Zappa, is that I knew about him before I ever heard him. I mean, it was the same period when I was trying to figure out what the blues was, but I didn't know anybody that had any Muddy Waters records, and I didn't know where there were any stores that sold them. Same with the Mothers of Invention.
Yeah.
And when so I would go to stores and look at them and try to picture what they sound like. And with Zappa, because they were all had such long hair and everything, when I finally heard Zappa, I thought that was not what I was.
Yeah.
I was not ready for that.
Yeah.
And these guys have, although, I mean, these guys look like they should sound like this.
Yeah.
A slice of life, a piece of mind, made on a plate of my own kind. I'll take a key from the gravy and unlock the cage that holds the ravens in. What's it like flying high? I've a cone for a beak, but the tar makes me cry. That holds me together, tart and feathers, breathing at home, hoping for the day. The radio and television's thrown the rest away. Oh dear me, look who's come around. Now all I have to do is hide my body in the ground. All I have to do when they hoot to the sea go down and in the waters ply their toil, are lifted on the surge's crown and plunged where seething eddies boil. It's on my head.
That was fantastic. All right, fellas, that was great. Thanks a lot. Cool. That's it, Colonels. That's a wrap. You didn't shoot off the stage, did you?
Not once, Jeffrey.
You didn't?
Not once.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Because we don't want to show it to Railway Yard.
So that was it. Now, I thought that because the music is so, like, I doubt you could pick up much in the way of the lyrics. I thought I'd read the lyrics to, you have this big spectacle, and then what are they really talking about? I find I understand the rules, but cannot find the reasons. Do they include everything and they change for every season? It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time is of the essence. Shall I put up some resistance? Cursed with the awareness of my own existence. It's only a matter of time. The chorus, time tends to pass by quicker than the nail, yes. That boxes me together, forever it forms the seal, yes. It is the knowledge of my own existence real. Now, what do you make of that compared
That
to?
is, I was not paying any attention to the lyrics when I was watching the video, and I was being, taken away by the silliness of it. And those are really serious lyrics about serious things.
And you were just referring to absurdism.
Yeah.
That seems like a prime example of, absurdism and Dada.
Yeah.
Where it's like this kind of silliness, but then there's something that.
When you and I first started listening to Bob Marley, being taken by Burning and Looting, in particular the song Burning and Looting, how happy it sounded
Yeah.
and peaceful.
Yeah.
And it's about burning and looting.
Yeah, that's something about Bob Marley I still think about, the fact that it's like peaceful music and like maybe the verses are really about heavy, violent stuff or whatever, but then the chorus will like kind of turn it around. There's something almost spiritual, like gospel and uplifting. So yeah. I'm going to read a little more of this. I find to understand the rules, but cannot find the reasons. Ow. Do they include everything and they change for every season? Oh God, please stop it. It's only a matter of... I think those might have been him reacting to people hitting him. The bridge, a slice of life, a piece of mind, laid on the plate of my own kind. I'll take a key from the gravy and unlock the cage that holds the ravens in. Third verse, breathing at home, hoping for the day the radio and television's thrown the rest away. Oh dear me, look who's come around. Now all that I have to do is hide my body in the ground. It's all I have to do. Outro. When they who to the sea go down and the waters ply their toil are lifted on the surge's crown and plunged where seething eddies boil. That's kind of sounds like some 18th century poetry.
I was gonna say Dylan Thomas maybe, or a question that I'm going to bring up later is what's the purpose of music? And it makes me wonder, what was the purpose of that?
Yeah.
On the surface, it was, we can get this on a video show
Yeah, yeah.
and get it shown once
Yeah,
at that time.
yeah.
And we have to sneak these lyrics in.
Yeah, yeah. And I'll tell you, that's been a lot of my philosophy with the Imperial Orgy. It's like, for people who are looking for some content, it's there. But for the rest of you, there's, dancers and whatever kind of craziness going on. And that allows me, I feel, to get away with a lot of things that people would have walked out on really quickly,
Yeah.
It's like, maybe at some point I can pull them into a little, spoken word piece which people hate, or, some weird instrumental stuff. But then, kind of gauge when you're going to lose them and bring them back with some upbeat or whatever it is. But, well, I think that humor in music is a whole thing, which I think most Americans don't like humor in music. I think and Zappa would deal with that too. He had a whole series of albums like, does humor belong in music, blah, blah. So that's to me, and I've dealt with that a lot just recently. When we were producing or promoting our last album, when we get reviews, they're either really horrible or really great. And so I made up a sheet that was like one bad, one good, one bad. I thought it was hilarious. Like the first one was like, listen and try not to throw up. And so I sent this one sheet out, and that pissed the writers off so bad. Like they were really offended by it. And I have no idea why to this day, but, and some of the one writer was just like, it was just like one line, like some negative line that said, there, you got your bad review. So I don't know, it's still a mystery too. I just thought it was funny, but I just think Americans have a trouble with, they think if there's humor, then it's not serious.
Yeah, and I can think of a couple examples of people that fall into a trap with that. One's, although, I mean, I think they're pretty happy with the trap they fell into. They Might Be Giants. Their humor covers up a lot of really provocative, strange ideas musically.
I was really into their first album. I kind of lost track of them.
Yeah, I mean, I did too. It became more normalized when after a while they got a band and everything. But
Yeah, I saw them during that period. And what I didn't like is that the second guy kind of faded into the background. You know what I mean? The guitar player, accordion, the other. But the lead singer became like the person, and everybody else was. And they had like a horn section and everything.
yeah. And I saw them once like that, and that was wonderful. But our friend Greg and I went to Philly to see them when there were just two of them, and real.
Yeah.
And their big hit was "Don't Let's Start," and
Right.
they started playing it. The tape came off the reel, started unspooling, and they had to stop and rewind it and explain what they were doing because it was their big hit. They couldn't not.
Well, talk about similarities. That I love that music video for "Don't Let's Start," and kind of a similar spirit to what we just watched, like absurdity and silliness. But I really love the lyrics to that song. I can't think of them right now, but I remember like really feeling like there was something cool in his lyrics. Boy. Well, all right, let's close this out. Thank you for visiting my channel. If you have any comments or thoughts or requests for future reactions, put them in the comments. And thank you, John, for joining.
Caesar, it's always good to see you.
Hope to see you soon.